Okay, I wanted to go over our website real quick and just kind of show you some of the functionality of the website, just so that you can understand it better and kind of direct patients to particular areas that they might have questions. Okay, so obviously the first thing is we have our menus up here. Okay, another thing is we just want to put it right out there in the front what our hours are. Okay, and obviously there's links for the different web pages here. Okay, a very important portion here obviously is to schedule appointments. We obviously would want patients to schedule just as quickly as possible. Okay, and it comes up with this map, and it is basically it shows the closest area or the closest practice, and then gives some identifying information here. Okay, and then at the very bottom this we have all of the practices listed with their phone numbers. So we're trying to get them to call just as quickly as possible. There is this search functionality down here where people can look for practices within 300 miles or within 10 miles, and it'll show the most recent or the closest practice there. Okay, so when they do go in to schedule the appointment, obviously they're going to put their name, date of birth, email address. Okay, and then they're going to select which office, and then they're going to choose the reason for the appointment, and then they're going to submit. What this basically does is it sends an email to our info@openandaffordable.com, which has a filter and a forwarding that it's going to forward that email directly to your office. So that's going to show up in your email that a patient has requested to be scheduled for an appointment. Okay, so let's just go back to our home. Okay, so under the home, we have doctors listed here. Okay, now these doctors are listed in the order in which they started at Open Affordable Dental. So you can see here, Dr. Barkov, he came in second, Dr. Annie came in third, Dr. Van came in fourth. So it's just kind of interesting to see, kind of where you stand on when you were hired. Most patients don't understand that, but we basically also put, where you graduated from and the year that you graduated. Now, some doctors are like, oh, don't tell people that I just graduated this year. Well, guess what? You're only young for a little bit, and then pretty soon you're going to be the old doctor here that graduated almost 10 years ago. So appreciate it while it's young. While you're young. Also, at the very beginning of your employment, we ask you for a marketing full picture, because it's going to be located here, and you can read some of the other doctors' bios, and you'll create your own doctor bio to be on this page. Okay, repair ticket, super important for functionality. Again, you're going to want to put person who's submitting their request, the contact phone if it's a cell phone or if it's the office phone, contact email, and then the repair type. So an emergency, obviously I need it done right now. Non-emergency, hey, when you're here, if you can accumulate a bunch of different things together, come and fix all of these at the same time. Maintenance, oh, hey, I noticed that the filter for the furnace needs to be changed in 6 months. That would be something that they're going to come through and change. Handpiece repair, if one of your handpieces are broken. An estimate, hey, I've got this project to do. I want to outfit an operatory. I don't have the cabinetry. Can you come by and give me an estimate? And then landscaping would be things obviously on the outside of the office, okay? And then obviously you'll come in here, you'll choose the office, and if it's something that's a non-emergency or if it's an emergency, you can do the date, and then you'll put in your identifying information, so OP6 or OP5, water leak. And then you can add in pictures if you would like, especially if you're doing this from your phone. It's easier to get in there. So you would attach the photo, and then they would come and do the repair. They do have access to the lockbox, so they can get in on a day that you are not in the office if your office happens to be closed or if it's on a Sunday, okay? Office training, super important. You can see that the doctor's manuals, the assistant manuals, front office manual. It's also the Kiel Eaglesoft batches here. What does that allow you to do? It allows you to have a button down here to be able, if there's an error on Eaglesoft, it'll just end the task and kill the Eaglesoft application on that workstation instead of trying to fight with all of the error messages. Okay, the employee manual here, the fee calculator for oral surgeries here. Usually that's our OS admin group that is looking at that. You have your fee schedules for Aspen Dental Lab. We have our training videos link here that'll take you to YouTube. And then we have our in-network insurance plan, which is a Google Sheet that tells you all of the plans that we're in network for, okay? We also have owner access here. That is basically the new startup document on how to create the entities. It does also have the credentialing manual on how to get in network for all of the insurance companies. The royalty agreement is here. The assignment of membership interest is here. Credentialing status spreadsheet, operating agreement for one owner, and then operating agreement for two owners. So these are kind of more owner type of things that you would need access to, okay? Services, so we have, Zoom whitening, we have before and after pictures here, okay? And if you do want to be included on this before and after, you need to send us a picture of the before and after. There can be no fingers in the picture, and we'll give us some identifying information, and we'll put that up there, okay? And you're going to email that to corporate@openandaffordable.com, okay? Finances, we list here all of the insurances that we accept, okay? We also talk about the discount plan here, okay? And care credit and so on. So if there's any question, you can have the patients just go here and go insurances accepted. We also have our affordable discount plan, and it goes through all of this. We also have a link to our discount plan, and it talks to the patient about specific prices as much as possible, okay? We also have the ability to apply for care credit, and if they go right here to this button, they can go right to the care credit website and they can apply for care credit right through that link on our website, okay? For new patients, again, we have that ability to schedule the appointment. We've already gone through that. We do have our new patient forms right here. All of the absolutely needed information is in bold or yellowed out. And then we have procedure instruction forms. All of the forms that you will ever need are here. Back in the day, we used to use Google Drive. Google Drive is all of our rough draft stuff. So if you need anything that's printed out, for example, root canal consent forms, you would go to the website and get that here. You would not get it from Google Drive, okay? It's broken up into general practice and into oral surgery here, okay? So even things that are printed out in your office, for example, an office sign that alerts patients that they need to make sure that they're only getting estimates, they're not getting actual treatment. The treatment plan is only an estimate. That sign is up here on the website. You would not go to Google Drive and print that out, okay? Frequently asked questions. This is modified all of the time. Whenever we track all of the questions that we get in through our after hours, and we try to answer every single one of those on this frequently asked questions. So if there's a question that you're getting from a patient and you would like to see that up on the frequently asked questions, put it right there, okay? Feedback is also very important, okay? So we have a form on, let's see if it's right here, okay? We have a feedback form or a sign in your office that if a patient wants to give feedback, they would do it right here. They would scan this, it would take them to this feedback link, and they could give us positive and negative feedback. We've got a lot of negative feedback through this link, which is super awesome because it helps us avoid getting negative feedback up on our Google reviews, okay? This is also the mechanism that if there was a sexual harassment complaint against a staff member could come in here and anonymously give us feedback, and that would go to the correct channels. So this feedback form is super important, okay? So, another thing is a patient says, hey, I really didn't like that doctor or whatever, and then let's say that they're out at the front. Your fronts could direct them. They're like, hey, we would super love your feedback. Take a look at that sign, take a picture of it, and go and give us the feedback, okay? And obviously this is anonymous, okay? Locations, we list all of the locations. With the locations, we have a little map. We have all of the identifying information. We have all of the languages that are spoken. So if you speak more than one language or a language other than English, we will put that on the website, okay? There's a direct link to leaving a Google review for your office, and then we list all of the doctors at that particular practice with the exact same information from the other link, okay? Careers, it's a really awesome way to be able to get applicants to come through here. So again, when an applicant sends in their resume or their application here, it'll end up in your email, and it's a requirement that you interview every single person that applies for the job, because we're always looking for good people. And so I've gotten people that have applied from the city of Brighton, and they're applying over to Bennett, and I bring them in. I find out that they're an amazing person. Well, then I don't have a position for them. So then I call Brighton and say, hey, this person is coming over here from Brighton. Do you need anyone? Oh, yes, I'm looking for someone. So that can happen. The other thing is that these patients usually these applicants usually turn into patients, because they come in, they find out that you're a nice person, and they're like, oh my goodness, I love the fact that you're showing me all of this stuff. So again, super important to bring in every single person that applies. So we also have links on becoming a hygienist. So we're basically trying to get applicants to figure out the longer term career in dentistry. So we help them understand what it would take to be maybe an assistant and then become a hygienist, or becoming an assistant, what kind of the implications are, and then also becoming a dentist. Maybe they want to become an assistant and then maybe a hygienist and then maybe a dentist, or maybe they want to become an assistant or a front and then go and become a dentist. So we try to put as much information as possible here. We're trying to build out all of the different dental schools that all of our dentists have been to, so that people that are looking can be like, oh my goodness, you went to Buffalo or you went to Colorado. And then careers information is a place where we send all of our new or our potential associates to look at the GP dentist opportunity, the contract, sample contracts, and even we have a hygienist opportunity information. So when we go to recruit, we give them that information, and they can go in there and look and see kind of what we're at. One last thing is we do have the ability to chat. So when a patient chats here, it gets sent to our answering service team, and they can respond immediately. So we get a lot of interaction with patients, either trying to reschedule appointments or figure out what we do. And it's just a really nice functionality to have that chat mechanism down there. That's kind of the main portions of the website. And so spend just a little bit of time going through that so that you can be familiar with that for patients if they have any questions.